You gotta be kidding me. Okay. So I already had a video basically scheduled and uploaded for today, talking about Dragon Ball Legends for like the next couple months. You know, talk about the anniversary, talk about the newsletter that just mentioned Zenkai, and then the update came out last night, and I'm like, bro, are you kidding me? It's like every time Legends takes 5 steps forward, it takes 10 steps back. I don't know what it is. You know what they need to do? The Dragon Ball Legends team, what they need to do is every time they're about to implement like a big change, toss out like a survey or something, or even like ask the YouTubers, man. Ask, what do you think about this change before it's implemented? Because like some of the changes that come out, I'm just like, who approved this? Like, why would this ever be approved? Now, for this video, I'm gonna basically try to talk about what I talked about in my last video that was supposed to be coming out today that I ended up deleting. But I also wanted to kind of toss in basically my 2 cents on the change that came out last night and why it's both good and bad. So, before the update, Zenkai sucked. To Zenkai something that wasn't a free unit, it took roughly around somewhere in the neighborhood of like 19 to 20,000 CCs, which is a lot. In exchange, you get a pretty broken unit, but you spend like 20,000 CCs. That sometimes will cost more than pulling a new unit. For 20,000 CCs, you get a bunch of new units if you're lucky, but you can also get unlucky and get nothing. So that's kind of, I guess, their mentality towards it. Now, it'll take roughly around 5 to 7,000 CCs, which is a good thing. Basically, if you farm up the CCs, I don't know, within a couple weeks or a month, you have a chance of either breaking a unit that you already have right now, or potentially pulling nothing in the banner. I guess that's kind of like what they're going for. For 5 to 7,000 CCs, I think that's a fairly good deal. And I hope that they end up adding more ways to grind CCs solely for that. Because I still feel weird that like, we'll buy a unit and we have to pay more money to essentially power up the unit for later. I've only done it twice. You know, for reference, I've only Zenkai 2 things ever, not including the free stuff. And that was Beerus, because Beerus was awful and he's my favorite character. And then Cooler, which is my favorite meta. You know, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take it now on both of these because I like these characters, I'm gonna do it. But I have not touched Zenkai for anything else outside of that. Outside, of course, the Kid Goku and the Trunks, because they were free. The free Zenkais are dope. I like that a lot. So, something else that they added here is, so yeah, overall, 5 to 7,000 CCs for Zenkai now is cool. Something else that they decided to add is you can actually get, you can get Zenkai souls now in the exchange shop for the medals that you get when you have something maxed out. So if you watch my summons, you'll probably notice that sometimes I will, not sometimes, all the time, when I do a multi-summon, once something is at 14 stars, including like the hero units, EX units, yada yada yada, it converts that to coins. I have a lot of coins because we haven't done anything with those coins since the game came out. So I have like a lot of coins. We call them whale coins. They're basically whale coins. Right now, or before the update, what you can do with the whale coins is you can exchange it for EX units for some reason. And the other one was it EX units? Maybe I'm thinking of something else. Maybe I'm thinking of rare metals. Mostly I know that you can get like equipment in there, and that's basically how I would farm my equipment every now and then. But they haven't done anything else with the exchange shop until last night when they decided, hey, we're gonna value every single Zenkai soul at 50 coins per. I don't even have to do the math to tell you how much that is. So someone like me, who has a lot of coins, by the way, I could probably like basically use that as a supply for Zenkai souls for like the next maybe couple months. But the average player does not have that kind of coins. They don't. So I'm like, who put the value behind this for this? Like, I feel like there should have been like 10 at most. You know, maybe 5 to 10. Yeah, 5 to 10 souls at most. But 50 for one? Who approved this? I don't understand. That needs to change. That absolutely needs to change. Because that's a ridiculous exchange, you know. So yeah, like, again, they'll come up with a cool concept to make something better, and then they'll break something in the process, and I just don't understand. I don't understand how that even happens. It's frustrating. And then the other thing that kind of had me annoyed last night is that the new co-op sucks. You know, basically what they did is they released Yamcha, Krillin, and TM, which, by the way, they are pretty fun units on paper. You know, I don't have them because I can't tell you how good they are. But on paper, they sound like it'd be a fun team to kind of like play around with. And to get Yamcha, they basically put them behind a co-op challenge like they did, you know, with like Zenkai Souls. But it's not fun because like in order to get like the biggest boost, you need Yamcha, and to get Yamcha, you first have to power through co-op a couple times, which I did like 4 times last time. And I was like, I'm done. I don't want to do this. Why? Because again, the same issues. If you're gonna try to do big campaigns around co-op needs to be fixed. You know, The fact that most of my matches end up getting disconnected, whether it be maliciously or by accident, or maybe they're modding, I have no idea, is annoying. It's a waste of time. It's the one thing that makes me not want to even do the free Zenkais anymore. Fix it. And the thing that kills me about this is the fact that, if you guys remember when the 2-year anniversary started, the very first thing we were able to do is play alongside Vegito Blue, a CPU co-op partner. So the technology is already built. So it's like, if you're gonna do more campaigns around co-op, which is fine. I don't hate co-op. I just want to point that out. I think co-op can be fun if they implement a couple things. Number one, if you do a random co-op, have it so if they disconnect, a bot takes over, similar to how we have it in PvP. That's currently what happens. Again, in case you don't know, when somebody disconnects in PvP, when it says connection unstable, they're actually getting kicked out or quitting or whatever, and then a bot takes over, and you don't even notice most of the time. You end up playing. Well, you can notice because the CPU fights very, very uniquely, but you still play, which is fun. They don't do that in co-op. So the way you can make co-op a lot more fun and bearable is add these 3 things. Number one, add it so they become a CPU when they get kicked out. By the way, I'm sure they're working on all this. You know, the thing about the Drama Legends team is they're definitely probably working on these changes over the course of the next couple weeks / months. It takes time. Programming takes time and a lot of like resources and it just takes time. That's basically the thing. But implement these things. Number one, like I said, make the co-op partner turn to CPU when someone disconnects. 2, let me rematch. If I'm if I'm at the end screen at the end, whether I'm fighting with my friends or with a partner, or maybe it might be easier to implement with friends, but let me do like a rematch button, so when I rematch, the other person can rematch as well, and then you just hop right back in. Then it can do like grind and co-op like for as long as you want to. That should have been this since day one. The other thing I want to see is I need to see some kind of indicator that my partner has Rising Rush, because there's nothing more annoying than them Rising Rushing when I literally have like 1 ball or something like that, which happens. Not all the time, you know. I think most players, they kind of have like a sign they can toss out, like with Trunks, you know, once you do your second main ability, or even a transformation, that was a sign that says, hey, I got my Rising Rush, I'm ready whenever you are. So if you can implement the CPU change, the rematch button, and also an indicator when Rising Rush is available, then that will make co-op so much more fun and bearable, and then you can give me as many campaigns as you want. But for right now, like last night, I think it took me like 6 games to to finish my 3 per day, and then for 3 per day, I end up getting just the 15 Z power per for the Yamcha. So that's going to be a long grind for an EX Yamcha, which I just don't really feel like doing right now. I mostly don't feel like doing it just because I don't want to deal with the co-op issues. But I don't know. That on top of seeing like the Zenkai exchange shop, like it just annoyed me. Oh my god. Ugh. You know, one thing that was cool about Zenkai up until now is you had that free Z level 1 path that everybody could basically grind for. The grind wasn't fun, but at least it gave the player something to do, and then you kind of got like a stronger unit at the end. They took that away, and I get it. They probably took it away because now it's much cheaper to actually do it, but like, you just took away the one thing that a lot of free players were even doing with Zenkai. So it's like, why? You know what I would do? I suggested this enough for the past like 2 years. When Duel Links releases a new main box, they throw 500 gems in everyone's box. Dragon Ball Legends, you know what would be a good idea? Whenever a new Zenkai comes out, like a paid Zenkai, not like the free ones. Whenever a new paid Zenkai comes out, toss, to celebrate the unit, and to celebrate something fun happening in the game, toss 1,000 crystals in every single player's box. Why? Well, number one, they can get that free path, because right now if you do them, well, actually, you still aren't guaranteed to get a Z level 1-off-1 multi, but at least it's gonna like work towards it. But if you do a multi-summon right now, I tested it once last night, and I don't know how other players did, because I think D-Free did it with 1 multi and he got like a lot of Z power. But I did 1 multi last night for 1,000 CCs. I ended up getting like 900 Z power, which is like right up there. So to celebrate a new Zenkai, what you can do is just toss in 1,000 crystals in everyone's box, and then they can either use that towards a new banner if they want to, or whatever, or they can use it on something like a new Zenkai. Because then at least that kind of like replaces the fact that you guys took away the free Z level 1 that every player was kind of like at least striving to do before. I'm so frustrated. God, it's like every time we take 5 steps back, or 5 steps forward, we take 10 steps back. You know, it's funny, in my initial video, I talked about how the overall anniversary wasn't that good. It was a good event, I will say that. It was a good event, but my problem with the anniversary, as I said like 2 weeks ago, now that we are past part 2, the anniversary really just felt like just a regular ass month. It wasn't really something that was celebrating the players. In fact, it wasn't even celebrating the players that have been around for months. It was mostly like a thing that was like for new players, which I get it. You know, anniversaries attract new players, but you can't forget that the players that have been playing your game for months, in years actually. The newsletter mentioned, you know, striving to make year 3 a lot better. I want you guys to just take a note. For year 3, if we even make it to year 3, make it all about the players. No players means no game. The people that play your game, whether they're paid or free, doesn't really matter. The people that play your game, they make your game. They make your game. Every single one of them is like important for this. So whether they're new or old, make it all about the players next year. If we make it that far. And PyCon sucks, man. I'm still kind of like annoyed that they gave us that PyCon Goku at the end. Like, by the way, I mean, I get it. You can't really follow up Vegeta Blue and the other banners, but like the PyCon and Super Saiyan Kaioken banner were just like, but why though? I don't know, man. I'm frustrated. I like this game. I have a lot of fun with this game. I love this game, but then when I see the steps that we go backwards after spending months going forwards, it's just like, come on, man, we were doing so good. Look, I made it this far in my little ranty video. What I want you guys to do is, in the comment section of this video, just comment changes that you personally want to see as a player. I don't care if you're a hardcore player, a casual player, new or old. Just comment any kind of change you want to see happen with the game. Like, basically your biggest gripes again, because I will send this video over to the team and let them kind of look through the comments. So like, be as critical as you can, and be critical. Don't just say, hey, this sucks. Say, this sucks because if you say that something sucks, we're not really giving them any information. On top of that, there's a whole nother video that I could probably even make on fixing PvP, which is another thing. You know, PvP as core of a part of the game it's outdated. It needs to be upgraded to year 2 standards. You know, the system that they made back in 2018, it doesn't work today. You know, something I mentioned actually to the homies is, you know, one of the biggest gripes with high rank play is a lot of times you only get like 1 RP, and you'll spend literally hours and hours and hours playing matches getting 1 RP, 1 RP, 1 RP, and then when you finally get in that match with someone that's up to your RP, they're either cheating and then they disconnect, and then you lose like 200 points, or you know, maybe you just lose because you have that off match or something, and then you lose 200 points, and then hours is wasted. Something I was gonna say before I end this video, because I don't want to, like, you know, talk too long, is have a minimum, after like, let's say rank 50, have a minimum of 20 points or something like that you can get for every single match. That way, when you get matched up with like a bot or like a lower level player where you won't get any points in general, at least you're getting some points. And then after like, I don't know, an hour or 2, you can have some points that will help you go towards the ladder. What do you guys think about that? You know, I talked to Goresh about it. He liked it. A couple others liked it as well. Because again, the problem right now, in case most of you guys, I don't know how often you guys all play, but in case most of you guys haven't played high rank PvP, a lot of times after rank 50, you're only getting like 1 RP per fight. So let's say you play for an hour, you do like 20 matches, that's 20 points. But then you get into one match of somebody that basically cheats and disconnects, and now you lost like 80 points. Look at that, all that progress is gone. But if you spend an hour playing against like 20 matches and you get 20 points at least per minimum, then at least you're getting something out of that. Because the problem is as you get higher up, there's a lot less players up there. And that's why the system is kind of like bugging right now. You know, it's like if we had way more players in high level RP in like post BR50, then that issue wouldn't be as prevalent. But like right now, the fact is not everybody plays PvP to that point, to the hardcore level. So like if you queue up a lot of times, you won't have a player to even match up with. So they either toss you against a bot or they toss you against someone much lower, in which case you get no RP. If you do run into a high level player, then you would get the normal amount of points. So let's say if you win against somebody who has the same as you, you'll get like 80, 100, whatever points. But at least make the minimum 20, so that way you're not wasting your time. But again, it's a whole nother video. Like, fixed PvP will be a whole nother video. I just want something I want to toss out there to see what you guys think about that. But yeah, comment section below. Let me know your thoughts on the game for the next like year and like what you want to see change. I like the fact that they take steps. You know, they do try. They do try. Keyword try here. You know, like when they posted that newsletter the other day saying what they want to work on, what they want to change, we saw that the Zenkai thing is happening. You know, they even mentioned that in November, all the Zenkais currently available will basically revert to the new system then. And the reason why they did something like that is, I assume, because they want to give people a heads up. That way you don't like blow all your crystals or something like that. Imagine little Timmy down the street blows all his crystals today to Zenkai everything, and then all of a sudden the change happens the next day, and it's like, oh, I'm mad. That's probably why they did that. So yeah, I don't even want to talk about Trunks. Trunks is another thing. Trunks sucks. Let me know your thoughts down below on the changes, and hopefully, you know, we can start taking steps forward again, because we were doing so good. We were doing so good. I'm frustrated. I'll see you guys in the next video.